Okay, so we are looking at this applying pattern rules page, and our first pattern says start at 8 and keep adding 10. What will the 15th term be? So if we use our typewriter right here, here's the strategy that I would do. Like I said, kind of every day this week, we want to make these awesome charts that are going to help us. So I'm going to use the word term, and below it, I'm going to keep track of my term value. I'm just going to write that down here to keep my numbers in line together. So the pattern rule says start at 8. So that tells us our first term is not 9. Our first term is 8. And it says keep adding 10. So that means our second term would be 18 because we're adding 10. It means our third term would be 28. Our fourth term would be 38. Our fifth term would be 48. Now, to answer this question correctly, I want to figure out the 15th term. And I'm not going to go all the way to 15 for you because I want you to do some of this thinking yourself. But which of these numbers do we know that it is not? We already can rule out one of these numbers based on my work. And which number can we say it is definitely not that number? You could show me, or you could type it in the chat if you would like. Drew says 33. Let's see if other people say 33. Good. And the reason we can rule 33 out is because after the fourth term, I'm already at 38. So it's definitely not going to be 33 because I want to know what the value is of the 15th term. Okay, so let's scroll down and take a look. It says number 2, a club has 4 members and 5 more join each day. Use a table to show the number of members for each day for the first 6 days. Okay, so I'm going to set up a chart with my typewriter. Now this time, I don't have to say term and term value because I know I have a little more information. So I could say a club has 4 members and 5 join each day. So on the top, I can write day. On the bottom, I can write members. On day 1, the club had 4 members. So there were 4 members and 5 join each day. So we're starting at 4, 5 more join each day. So on day 2, we are going to have 5 more. So 4 plus 5 will get us to 9. On day 3, we're going to have 5 more, which will get us to 14. Okay, it's asking you to figure out how many members there will be after 6 days. So you can finish that up. Down here in your page, I gave you a chart that was started on. So in question 3, it says use a table to show the first 6 terms in the following pattern. Start with 200 and keep subtracting by 2. So really, you just need to finish what I've started here with the table. Okay, it gets a little trickier on the back page because we're into some word problems, which can be tricky to understand. So I'm going to read through them. And remember, this video will be posted on the website. So you can, while you have your math out, you could have the video up and you could be pausing it and getting a little bit of help with each question as you go. So number 4 says use a table to show the first 6 terms in the following pattern. So once again, you're going to set up a table. This one I'll show you, but then I don't think I'll show you for the last two because I want to see if you can set up a table like this on your own. So we have term on one side, and you don't, so tables that you set up, they can be kind of horizontal, which means sideways, like the ones I've been doing here. You could also make your table be kind of up and down, which we would say vertical. So I'll show you what an up and down table might look like. So we have term and term value. Our rule is start with 8 and add 1, then 2, then 3, and so on, adding 1 more each time. Oh, that's kind of a fun pattern. So our first term, it says start at 8. So it's awesome. It tells us what our first term is. Then it says add 1. So 8 plus 1 would be 9. And then it says add 2. So that's going to move us up to 11. And in the fourth term, we want to add 3. So 11 plus 3 would be 14. And it wants you to add up to the sixth term. Okay. So you'll have a chart that looks kind of like that, but you'll finish it. Now these ones I'm just going to read to you, and I want to see what is, I want to see how you do with these questions. So I'm not going to support you in the same way I did with the other ones here. So it says, Akeem's growing pattern started at 10. Each term was 6 more than the term before. When will Akeem reach an odd number in his pattern? Explain. So Akeem's growing pattern started at 10, and each term was 6 more than the term before. To answer this question, you need to know the difference between an odd and an even number. So odd numbers would end in the digit 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. And even numbers end in the digit 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. When will Akeem reach an odd number in his pattern? That's an interesting question. I think I'm going to give you a warning that this might be a trick question, which is not super fair. Each term was 6 more than the term before. Come up with, I think your explanation will be the most important part of this question. Just highlight that. Oh, can I? Maybe I can't. That's okay. And here's the last question we'll talk about. It says Casey buys 3 posters every week. So far, he has collected 30 posters. Show how you can use patterns to help figure out when he will have 100 posters. Okay, so your work goes down here, and you're going to want to figure out, so every week, and how many posters does he have? After 1 week, he has 3 posters. Every week, he gets 3 more posters. So how long will it take him to get to 100 posters? And no, it doesn't say exactly 100. It says how long until he gets to that 100 number. All right. So I'm just going to